Hello class, welcome back for the second lesson of our first unit. Today we're going to be making shapes. And so what I want you to do is I want you to actually click on the link where it says manipulative. And when you do that, you're going to need to scroll down a little bit to activity 2.2 composing shapes. And let's take a look at what we have here. So it says that the applet has one square, here's a square, and some small and medium and large right triangles. The area of the square is one square unit. So we want to keep that in mind. So what we want to do is we want to just play around with these a little bit. We can move these around however we like. The idea is to try to put together two small triangles to make a square. So if you look, if we move this over here a little bit, and we can maybe move this around, drag it down, and we can bring this shape over here. We can rotate it around, okay, and try to get it a little closer here. Sometimes you might have to play around with it a little bit to see what's going to work best. See, that's not going to work, right? So I have to move it around a little bit more. Let's see if I rotate this one around, though, and can get it to come around a little bit better. And you're going to have to play around with it a little bit to really get it to work just right. So don't worry about it if it takes you a little bit of time to get used to some things here. If you look at that there, I move a little bit closer. Ah, yes, I can see I have a square. Okay, so we would say, what is the area of the square if it's composed of two small triangles? Well, the two small triangles, we made it into the square, so it's one square unit. Okay, so that they cover the exact same area, even though they were different shapes and we had to kind of move things around a little bit. Some other things they wanted us to look at. They wanted us to use our shapes to create a new shape with an area of one square unit that is not a square. Okay, well, if we think about it, we know that if we put the two small triangles together, we can get one square unit. We can arrange them to where we have a different shape, but it's still going to be one square unit. So, for example, if we take this here and move this like this, and then we can take our other one and move it around, get it going like this, and move it in there. There we go. That's still going to be one square unit, even though it's not an actual square in shape. Okay, and there are some other ways you can go about that as well. The third question says to use your shapes to create a new shape with an area of two square units. Well, if we know that one square unit can be covered by two of the small triangles, then two square units can be composed by having four triangles, four small triangles together. Or you could also use two small triangles and one medium triangle. So for example, with the medium triangle here, we take this, okay, and then we can move the small ones in, and it can look a little bit like this. Rotate it around and move it in there. Okay, and then we can take this triangle here, rotate it around, move it around a little bit, and then you can see that we are going to have a shape that is still going to be two square units. Okay, it's the equivalent of four triangles. Okay, but it's obviously not a square. Okay, and so you can use different shapes to create a different shape with an area of two square units. This can be up to you. You can be creative with this, but just keep in mind what we know about how much we need to make two square units. And then for the last one, it says to use your shapes to create a new shape with an area of four square units. So the idea is to have any sort of figure where you know that it's got an area of four square units. So that would be, you could have a bunch of different ways that you can go about this, but you can have two of the small triangles and one of the medium triangles like this, and then you can add in the big green triangle. You could rotate it a little bit like this. And there we go. A little bit more. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so that could be four square units. So the idea is you can play around with this and come up with all kinds of different ideas, but they still are going to have an area of one square unit. Okay, hope this makes sense.